Welcome back to the Explainer, everyone. Today we are booting up the system to dissect a massive upcoming event in the fintech space. We're talking about the September listing of LinkersMap's business utility token, $LMP. Now, we aren't just looking at a standard token launch today. We are unpacking an entirely new, futuristic economic engine where digital assets act as the literal gears, connecting real-world business directly to token supply. Here is the digital heads-up display of what we're covering today. First, the September catalyst, then the economic loop, buy and burn scarcity, proof of business utility, the 100 million cap, and finally, the future of LMP. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1, the September catalyst, covering the IBTE listing and real-world utility. So the spark lighting up this whole engine is the upcoming September listing of the LMP token on the InterLink Business Token Exchange, or IBTE. But listen, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill market listing. Not at all. LinkersMap is launching an economic architecture designed to intentionally connect real-world, boots-on-the-ground usage with measurable token demand. It's entirely focused on building a rock-solid bridge between actual commerce happening out in the world and the mechanics governing the token supply. Moving right along to Part 2, the economic loop, or exactly how ITL fuels LMP. Now, to really grasp LMP, you've got to look under the hood at how it interacts with $ITL. Starting in September, users will swap $ITL through the IBTE exchange to acquire LMP, and this triggers a brilliant 5-part automated cycle. Step 1. Genuine businesses generate activity on the network. Step 2. That activity racks up transaction fees collected in $ITL. Step 3. The system automatically scoops up that $ITL and buys LMP right off the open market. Step 4. Those purchased LMP tokens are permanently burned, gone forever. And finally, Step 5. This drops the circulating supply. The big takeaway here? More genuine business activity literally equals more LMP being bought and burned. It's a continuous, self-feeding loop. Which perfectly tees up Part 3, buy and burn scarcity and its deflationary mechanics. The absolute key word to remember here is transparent. This buy and burn model is hardwired to link the token supply directly to network usage, and it does it in a way that anyone can independently verify. So, as transaction activity ramps up, the system permanently yanks more LMP out of circulation. You're creating this increasing scarcity over time that naturally, mathematically reacts to the sheer scale of network adoption. Honestly, the entire philosophy of this economic engine is captured in this one idea. Token demand should be supported by economic activity, not merely by market attention. What a shift, right? We're moving far away from pure speculation and hype. Instead, the token is firmly anchored to actual transaction volume and real merchant participation, giving real-world metrics the driver's seat in powering the network. Let's talk limits in Part 4, the 100 million cap, featuring fixed supply and zero mining. So, how many of these tokens will ever actually exist in this high-tech system? 100 million. That's it. Full stop. The LMP token has a strictly fixed, hard-coded maximum supply of exactly 100 million tokens. The parameters are locked down tight. And how many of those tokens can you generate by plugging in a massive warehouse full of mining rigs? 0. Exactly 0 tokens can be mined. The acquisition process is systematically, tightly controlled. You can either swap ITL for LMP on the exchange, or you can take the second route, which happens to be a total game changer. That brings us to Part 5, Proof of Business Utility, or the PO-Buke engine. And this brilliantly illustrates a massive philosophical shift by LinkersMap. Think about traditional token models for a second. They usually prioritize issuance, mining, short-term incentives, basically generating tokens out of thin air without any corresponding real-world use. Pure speculation, right? Well, the LinkersMap approach, through PO-Buke, flips the script entirely. It strictly links rewards to business utility and demonstrated real-world contributions. So, what actually counts as a contribution in this framework? PO-Buke rewards highly specific, verifiable activities. We're talking about increasing merchant adoption, expanding into brand new global markets, supporting business integration, attracting genuine users, strengthening practical use cases, and broadening that global network growth. It's all about incentivizing highly disciplined ecosystem growth rather than just passively holding a bag. Let's pivot to Part 6, what drives long-term success, because execution beats speculation every single time. So, with all this slick tech, what will actually determine the long-term outcome? We've looked at the automated gears of this machine, the fixed supply, the IBT swaps, PUBIC, the permanent burns. The structural blueprint is flawless. But here's the thing, a blueprint isn't a building. Token design is just one piece of the puzzle. At the end of the day, execution is what truly matters. The future strength of LMP really rests on three measurable pillars of success. First up, sustained transaction volume. This is the lifeblood, the actual fuel that drives fee collection and powers that buy and burn engine. Second is authentic adoption. A healthy network absolutely demands genuine, everyday use by real consumers and merchants, not just wallets hoarding tokens. And third, geographic and industry expansion. It's about taking this utility and scaling it across borders and entirely new business categories. Now, to look at this completely impartially, it's important to remember that an economic loop, no matter how meticulously engineered, does not automatically guarantee price performance. A token can have the most beautiful, highly structured supply model in the world, but it only becomes meaningful when it's backed by active merchants and sustainable business growth. The framework is exactly that, a framework, until the team and the community actually convert it into thriving real-world services.
A totally new chapter for LinkersMap begins this September. The central question now isn't just whether LMP will launch, but whether the network can build the sustained business activity required to actually make this economic engine run. And maybe more importantly, will you take part in building the utility that ultimately defines LMP's trajectory? It's going to be absolutely fascinating to watch how this transparent structure performs out in the wild. Thanks for tuning into this explainer. Keep analyzing and stay focused.